Hey Nuggets. All right, this is going to be the first video installment in this series where there's somebody else other than me talking. I have a very special guest today who you may know as Hawley Grandner, choir teacher extraordinaire at Hawley High School. So she is going to join in the effort to be part of a conversation about just being honest about how we're doing. So here we go. So hi, Ms. Grandner.
Hello.
Okay, so first thing, today on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome, 1 being horrible, how would you rate your day?
Today I think I would rate it a 6, maybe. 6 out of 10. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad by any means.
Yeah, I would rate my day at a 5 because it has been a little more challenging than other days. And that's how we roll. All right, we are now officially, we're recording this on Wednesday, April 1st. We are officially 3 days into distance learning and a few days beyond that into our self-isolation. What has been one of the hardest parts for you about distance learning?
That was fantastic. What? Well, I'm not used to coworkers that bark, so that has been a bit of a challenge to maintain some sense of normalcy when everything is different has been tricky. Clearly, working next to my dog sometimes is quite lovely. She joins me almost always, but sometimes we are not as content. No, I think in reality, the hardest part about all of this for me is I don't deal super well with being away from all of the people. And I'm used to being around hundreds of kids at a time and having big groups and having that contact time. And so, one, being away from that, but two, not knowing when it's going to end has been very hard for me. It's hard for me to process all of this because it's changing so frequently. You know, the rulings that are coming out to us, the educational setting, how people are responding, it's all changing all the time. So it's hard for my feelings to even catch up because I can't process quick enough of what's happening or, you know, when it's going to end, or I can't, all the unknown is overwhelming sometimes.
I am with you on all of those things. I am finding out that I need more human contact than what I'm getting. And I love my kids and my spouse, but I am not intended to be an online counselor. That is super hard for me to not see my students. Okay, but on the flip side, what has been one of the best parts of doing distance learning and being kind of isolated at home?
So there have been a lot of really great things about this that I did not anticipate. One of my favorite things so far is that I don't really get to talk to each individual student every day. And that is something that I've gotten from this, like way more personal. I'm reading comments from every student and responding to them, which is a lot, but it's so enjoyable to actually have that contact time and to get to know, you know, what they're up to and how their schedules are working out. And, you know, like these kids are rollerblading a lot and these ones are outside playing basketball and these kids are playing the piano and singing together. And it's just been super cool to get little like sneak peeks into all of your lives. So that's been really fun and really exciting because I don't get to do that super often. And to just have more time to process those things and to do those things and connect with people has been really lovely.
Awesome. Okay, so I think gratitude is a really powerful thing, and it helps us stay positive and it helps us stay gives us perspective. So what is something in this whole like big unpredictable mess of life right now that you are grateful for?
I am super grateful that I have my health, that I have a safe home, that I get to continue doing my job, and that essentially my life gets to keep moving forward and without any major roadblocks. Like I am just super thankful that my family and my friends are all with me and still supporting me and that I can keep going with all of my normal life things.
Nuggets, you need to know that I am super grateful for Ms. Grandner because she has been my go-to Google Classroom troubleshooting pal. So also there's that. Thank you for you. Okay. So I think what is really hard as we get further into this is figuring out how in the heck we take care of ourselves when things are just different, especially for people like you and I that are kind of people. This is hard. So what has been one of the most effective ways that you have found to take care of yourself during this time?
There are three main things that I feel like have really just been keeping me going through all of this. One, despite someone was walking on our sidewalk outside. That's why Kona was so feisty earlier. How dare they? But she has honestly been wonderful in this time. Getting outside and walking Kona so frequently has been super helpful because, you know, you never realize how much you want to leave your house until you're not supposed to leave your house. And so just going out and taking walks and getting a change of scenery and moving my legs that I'm used to being up and walking all the time during the day, and sitting has been hard on me physically and mentally. So getting up and out has been like my go-to kind of like coping mechanism, like just get outside, get some sunshine. And it's been so nice out. So that's been really good. But I also take a lot of naps, which I don't normally have time to do, which helps. Like if all the thoughts are getting too much, I just go to sleep. I don't know if that's the most beneficial way to deal with things, but it is kind of nice. I feel refreshed. And then I am definitely making use of the virtual hangout time with my friends. Like I've got high school friends that live all across the country now, New York, California. And I've talked to them more this week probably than I have in the last 3 or 4 months, because we've been making that intentional time to get together and just check in and see how you're doing. And it's so easy. And it just takes 5 minutes to see, you know, what's going on in their day. And that's been awesome. So I've gotten together with people virtually every night of this quarantine time.
Oh, that's good stuff. Okay. So it's not all like happy roses and dog walking time. I know, because you and I have talked about this. Like we both have times where we're not feeling super okay in this. So how do you tell when you are not okay and you need to just pull back and take a nap or whatever it is that you need to do?
I get very emotionally elevated. And then so like everything feels harder to me when I'm in that state. And so I cry easier and I get feisty easier. And like everything seems to bother me a little bit more, but I also can get really happy. It's like all of my emotions are super elevated into a state where my reactions are bigger and everything feels a little bit harder than normal. So that's how I can tell if it's like I am starting to overload, because I can't regulate how I'm reacting to things as well as I normally would.
I am feeling that as well. And just Nugget Nation, to give you an example, today we had to go into work, and I just was so overwhelmed and frustrated by the time we left, because this is just hard right now. And my sole thing to do before I came home was to pick up Dairy Queen for my kids. And I was using the app and it was awesome. And then the app crashed on me and I was going to go through the drive-through, and there was like 8 cars in the drive-through, and it was way past my kids' hangry time, and I could not bring them Dairy Queen. And I was like literally almost in tears in my car because I couldn't get Dairy Queen. And it wasn't that was that big of a deal. It was just like that one more frustration piece on top of everything else. So I, again, with you on the emotional, not really normally crying because I can't eat Dairy Queen kind of stuff. The other thing for me is I've been dreaming about distance learning. Like seriously, every night for the last week and a half, I dream about distance learning. And not that it's going well or not going well, but I just dream about it all night long. And for me, I can tell when I'm stressed when I start dreaming about it and I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I just was doing this all night long and now I have to start over again. So that's kind of a weird, quirky thing for me, but that's just how it is. So I'm not sleeping well, which doesn't help. I should try napping. Do you want to come babysit my kids, Grandner, so I can take a nap?
Sure, I'll bring Kona. They'll have a great time.
Good. Make sure you social distance. Okay. So what is a tip that you would have for our Nugget Nation for taking care of themselves?
Tip for taking care of themselves. I think it's just really important to set aside intentional time to do that right now. And to not, well, when talking to a lot of my friends, I feel like everyone's just putting a lot of pressure on themselves to do all of this right, or to make sure that, you know, I'm still performing the best that I can, or I'm using my time wisely, or, you know, that I'm handling all of this appropriately and still, you know, getting all your work done. And I think it's okay to not put so much pressure on yourself to make everything perfect. And you don't have to feel okay about this all the time. And you don't have to, some people are really enjoying it though. And I don't think they should feel guilty about that either, like enjoying the downtime. And so I think, you know, just understanding that this is the strangest thing that I have ever lived through. This is hands down the most odd thing that has ever happened to me and to everyone in my lifetime. And I don't really think there's a right or wrong way to handle it, as long as you are trying your best to make sure that you are healthy and safe and doing what you can. And so I think they just need to I don't think people should put pressure on themselves.
Good. You're so wise. That's why I'm done. Okay. Last thing. What do you want Hawley students to know right now during this time?
I want them to know that I am thinking about them constantly. I have also had many quarantine dreams about school, and I miss them. I wish we could be together again, and I wish that we could be singing and doing all the things, and I want them to be doing their activities. I just want them to know that I miss them and that I want them to be happy and healthy, and I want to do whatever I can on my end to make that happen. Like, we care about them so much and know that this is so weird. I just want them to be okay.
That is some solid wisdom. Okay, Grandner, thank you for being the first guest guinea pig. We're probably going to go viral because that's how amazing we are. Or maybe just because we laughed too much when your dog was barking. Hopefully the video stays on this one instead of my last one. So I'm sorry, Nuggets, if it gets messed up, but we're doing the best we can on our low budget, low skill stuff. So Nuggets, if you have anybody that you would like to suggest to show up on here for my next one, I'm hoping to do a couple a week, please go to the nomination and suggestion form that will be linked with this video and throw in your 2 cents. Okay, that's it. Grandner, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, Nuggets. Miss you very much.
Goodbye also, Nuggets. Take care of yourselves. It's okay to not be okay. We're all a hot mess together right now, so hang in there.